Welcome everybody to NAB Stadium here in Auchenflower for Game 2 of the QBL Grand Finals versus the Brisbane Capitals versus the Cairns Marlins. Cairns comes in tonight with a one-game lead after winning last night, 93-85. It was a big win for the Cairns Marlins over the Capitals. I got a chance to catch up with both head coaches. Let's hear from the winning coach first, Jamie Perlman, on his thoughts on his team's performance last night.
Jamie Perlman, head coach of the Cairns Marlins, coming into Game 2 tonight off the back of a win. I know you went back and watched the tape. What did you like out of the boys' performance last night?
Oh, look, I was really pleased with the way we moved the ball. You know, got the ball 3 sets of hands and really moved their defense from side to side. I thought that was a real positive for us. I felt like when the ball stuck, you know, and got stopped to one side of the floor, I thought that's when their defense could really take over and cause us trouble. So, yeah, so that was a big thing that came out of the game. The importance of continuing moving that ball, you know, don't letting it stick in hands. Defensively, I thought we were solid, but I thought we can definitely get better. You know, we definitely gave them some cheap points as well. I thought we actually got away with a few as well. I think they had some wide open threes they didn't make, so I actually felt like we got away with, you know, some errors on the defensive end, which we're going to have to definitely tidy up because, as everyone knows, this is a team that make a couple and they can get on a big roll, and all of a sudden you can find yourself very quickly down 6, 9, 12 points.
I thought the team handled Brisbane's defensive pressure quite well, but when I spoke to you after the game last night, you weren't happy about the turnovers. What did you say to the boys about that one?
Yeah, look, I think the big thing is there's a difference between an aggressive turnover and just a sloppy, careless turnover. And I think I want the guys to be aggressive. I want them to attack the hoop. And sometimes with Brisbane's aggressive defence, they get right in there and get a hand on the ball. Aggressive ones I can live with. The ones where we're on the back foot, it's a sloppy pass or just there's a bit of pressure on the wing and we just throw it out of bounds. They just can't happen in a grand final series. So. I think we need to definitely be, at least 25% better. We need to get those turnovers definitely under 15, and hopefully get it down to, no more than, the 10 that we've been averaging this year. And they've got to be aggressive turnovers as well. We can live with those if we're getting to the rim.
A couple of injuries last night. Mitchell pulled up a little bit sore, and Fish also. How are the boys heading into Game 2?
Yeah, look, this morning they both both pretty sore this morning. As the day's gone on, we've been lucky enough to have a physio down here with us. So they've been getting treatment all day and, I think they're feeling pretty positive. So, look, hopefully once game time kicks in and the adrenaline starts pumping, they'll be good to go and hopefully it'll just be a distant memory.
Obviously coming in, you get Game 1, which is a huge win for you. How do you keep the boys focused on the task at hand and not too excited for this next matchup?
Just by emphasising that it's just to get this done is just going to be a tremendous amount of hard work. It won't have a lot to do with X's and O's. Our defensive systems are in place since the start of the year. Our offensive systems are in place. It's all the 1%. It's all the effort areas. That's where the game is going to be won or lost. We have to let Brisbane know they're in for a real battle. From the very start. If we can do that. Really play extremely tough, physical basketball, control the boards, I think we'll give this a good shot tonight. If we come out and we let them feel good about themselves, give them space to get that 3 ball off, well then we can quickly find ourselves down. So it's all the effort areas that are going to be really vital to start this game.
All right, Jamie, thanks for chatting with us and good luck in Game 2 tonight.
Appreciate it, John.
All right, that was Cairns Marlins head coach Jamie Perlman. Dave, Cairns couldn't be more happy with their performance last night. I thought they did a great job offensively. Defensively, they were pretty solid too. What are your thoughts on the performance of the Marlins last night?
Yeah, I think they were pretty clinical, really. And I guess as I reflect on the night, they really had good composure all night, and I guess that poise that the champions bring. Talking to Trigger after the game, he thinks it's in the bag. That they are very comfortable and very confident, according to him.
As they should be after a great performance last night. I also had a chance to catch up with Brisbane Capitals head coach Jeff Tarrant to get his thoughts, and then I'll come back after Jeff to ask you about the Capitals last night, and we'll get a preview for tonight. But here's head coach from the Brisbane Capitals, Jeff Tarrant, on his thoughts on Game 1 last night.
Jeff Tarrant, head coach of the Brisbane Capitals, ahead of Game 2. Let's talk a little bit about Game 1 last night. I know you watched the tape. What did you see in the team's performance last night?
As we discussed just before, some of the guys were nervous. Two guys that work hardest on their shooting, Jake Davis and Aaron Anderson, took 11 shots between them for 3 made. You got to get more out of your import than that. And Jake, he's got to settle down and be looking for his shot. He's the sort of kid that can hit 5 or 6, do a James League and tear on you, you know what I mean? So he's just too nervous out there, so that's a real problem. Biggest problem for us was defence. We're normally fantastic on our closeouts, taking space away behind the contest, and we was pretty much a fail last night. We just put them into second phase play, which is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do out there defensively. So they had 26, 29 assists or something like that. You're not going to win a game of basketball when you're putting your opposition in high percentage basketball like that. So we're going to be better than that tonight.
What were some of the things that you saw on tape that you liked from the team? It wasn't all bad last night.
Oh, no, there was plenty we liked out there, and I'll talk about our stuff, but not theirs. But look, obviously we could have been smarter at times on offense. We need Aaron, even if he doesn't want to shoot the ball. He's in space, and everybody in the league knows he can shoot. We push this all the time. He's got to come in. If he's in space, he's got to come in ready to shoot the ball. Even if he doesn't want to, and let's just see if the defence will come up, narrow up, and make a mistake out there. And if they do, we can go into that middle third looking for the pull-up jump shot, which is the best pull-up jump shot in the league. So he was just too passive off the ball. He played benign basketball, and you just can't be doing that. And that heaps the pressure on the guys either side of him, because he's not pulling defence off them, and then he's giving them the ball. So the defence is right up on them. We've got to do more to create space for each other. We know we can do that. We know there was gaps that we should have taken out there last night. So, we didn't perform to our best offensively or defensively. We lost the game by 8 points. Very, very clear mistakes that we don't normally make, and they're easy to fix in there if the guys have the will to do that. So certainly the work's been done from our point of view, skills-wise and teamwork-wise at practice. So we're not asking them to do anything they haven't practiced a million times. So it's just a matter of getting the focus right and enacting our defensive plans. So there's a lot to like about last night's game, and we look at it like this. Hopefully we aren't even at half-time in the grand final. Hopefully it's a 3-game series, so only a third of the way through the grand final. So we'll see what happens out there.
Hey, you talked a little bit about nerves. How much do you think having the Game 1 over and done with will help the boys for Game 2 tonight?
Well, look, these guys have been up and down this year, so I'm not quite sure. I know guys like Jeffers and Dusty and Ant and Drew. Those guys are switched on. They're ready to play. Al Barker's ready to play, because he got a little bit overexcited last night. So just a little bit over the top defensively. But those guys are ready. But a couple of the other guys have got me a little bit concerned out there. You've just got to be determined and focused. Keep it simple. And I don't feel nervous. I'm just determined. I'll win this thing. So we need to focus on the things we need to do. We need to play in the moment. So the only reason you get nervous if you start thinking about end results. Maybe a lot of basketball between now and the end results. So guys have just got to focus on that and stay in the moment. They'll be fine. They've got to, immerse themselves in their defence and keep a clear and open mind in offence. And so all the things we've drilled into them, just the instinctive things, just come to fruition out there offensively.
All right, well, Jeff, thank you very much for chatting with us, and good luck tonight in Game 2.
Yeah, thanks, mate. We'll do our best.
Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. John Guarna here. I'm joined by Dave Derwin, Dan George. Guys, what did you think of the Brisbane Capitals' performance last night? Obviously, they took the loss, but they only lost by 8 points, and they didn't play their best game.
Yeah, I think their style of play is pretty loose, and so sometimes they're going to be really good, and sometimes they're going to be a bit off. Overall, I think some of the shot selection was a bit for me, but if they clean that up, then certainly they're right in the game tonight. A little bit more penetration. I like it when they get through a couple sets. You hit the slashing Kurt Thompsons and Andersons and so forth, and Dusty Reichardt stepping in. So if they be a bit more patient offensively, I think that they'll be better tonight.
Dan?
It's probably exactly why you work so hard all year to get home court as well.
Yeah.
You can have an average game and still have 2 games on your home floor to get a championship. So Obviously, they put them in a pretty good position to bounce back tonight, but I'd love to see Jeff cut his bench back a little bit. You want to go 10 deep in the regular season, and those guys have developed, but it's crunch time. It's title time. We're trying to win a championship. Dusty should play 35 minutes. Jeffrey should play 36. Anderson should play 40. I reckon if you can tighten the rotation a little bit, get those guys in a rhythm, that should put them in a pretty good spot tonight.
Yeah, I agree with both of you on that. Quickly, guys, what are your keys for Cairns to wrap it up tonight in 2?
Bit of the standard cliche, more of the same from Cairns. Great patience offensively, good poise. Loughton being the facilitator if that's the role that's required. Remember, they got it done with Fisher on the bench most of the night with a limp ankle, and Mitchell with a bit of a limp ankle. That's a really positive sign. I mean, Cairns are feeling real good about themselves.
Thunder, your final thoughts on Cairns before we get set for the tip?
In 3 seconds, execution. Offensively, methodical execution of offense, get shots for the right guys, and defensively, we never know what Brisbane's going to do. Up-tempo, run and gun, get shots up. If you can switch defenses and take them out of their stuff and then run them into the floor defensively and make them play for 20 seconds at the other end and get trigger shots, get Loudon shots. Damien Hoyer has been on fire. Execute your stuff. Could be over tonight.
Yeah, we see immediately coming out on the court the captain, James Mitchell for Cairns, and Anthony Fisher. So those guys are going to get a run. The title is on the line. Cairns does not want to go to Game 3, so they're rolling deep with their starting unit. You got Loughton going to get set to tip with Zach Carter. The home Capitals have the captain, Jeffries, Anderson, Kurt Thompson, Zach Carter, and Dusty Reichart. Here's the tip. It's up, and it's won by the Brisbane Capitals. Game 2 underway. Good crowd again here tonight. You would expect it for the grand final, and Reichart gets aggressive. He misses. Carter, though, follows for the opening points of the night. Gotta like the aggressive start for Dusty Reichart there.
Well, I think Brisbane need him to be aggressive. He's got to take 15, 16 shots tonight, make Trigger work defensively as well, if Brisbane's going to be a chance.
Higher floater along the baseline short. Reichart comes down with it. Now Anderson putting on the Jets. He's going to settle things down. Carter has it. He'll fire a deep 3. It's up. It's good. Zach Carter hits the early 3 yet again for Brisbane. Like the energy out of Brisbane to start here, guys. They were a bit flat last night. Loughton puts one up. That's off. Trigger tips it. He misses. Loughton with a second offensive rebound. And the size of the Cairns Marlins capitalize there.
We'll see if they give Carter that much space again next time down the floor.
Fisher kicks ahead now for Hire. Hire throws it up for Loughton. He lays it up and in. So after the hot start, Cairns responds with 4 straight. Jeffries had a great game last night. He kicks it to Reichart. Baseline jump shot is way off. Fisher comes down with it for Cairns. Good pressure there from Kurt Thompson. Now Fisher has it again on the baseline. Skips it over to Mitchell. Mitchell kicks it out to Loughton. Wide open for 3. It's off. Carter comes down with it. Looked to me like Caps are happy for Loughton to fire there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get a great deal of shots last night, playing that facilitator on top of the key. And I think they'll take that. They'll take that in the W every night.
And Carter with the heat check there. It's an air ball, so you got to let him shoot that one after the first make.
I think they were 6 of 30 last night from downtown, so they may think they're due to have a good shooting night as Mitchell hits the 3.
The captain, James Mitchell, gives Cairns their first lead of the night, 7-5. And again, I think Brisbane will be happy if Mitchell's firing from 3. Anderson tries to answer. He's off. Fisher has it now for Cairns. Good entry pass. Trigar gets great position. He misses, though.
Yeah, good seal. Just a bit too hard with the hook shot over Reichart.
Now Anderson gets around Hire. Hire's going to get called for the reach. Probably not the kind of foul you want Damon Hire to pick up this early.
Yeah, you certainly can't put any cheap ones, but I mean, the first few possessions, Cairns is doing a great job at stopping Brisbane's ball reverse. We all know they just want to kick it to the corner, get a reversal, and jack up a shot from there. So if they can restrict that, I mean, Brisbane, I think, struggling to get quality looks so far in the first few minutes.
Carter comes off a screen, kicks it to Reichart. Elbow jump shot strong. Higher comes down with it. Then Carter going to get called for the blocking foul. Not sure what he was complaining about. He just clearly blocked the path.
It's an obvious foul, but I think offensively for the Capitals as well, I love the fact Dusty's taken 3 shots already.
Yeah.
I mean, there are too many times we see him, due to the structures they run, not get a lot of looks. And I think if he can get the 15, 16 shots tonight, it's going to really help them get back in the series.
I like what Cairns is doing here too, though, guys. Playing at their own pace, they're not getting rattled. Mitchell comes around the Carter defense. Higher winds up with it in the corner. His 3 is off. It's tipped around. Carter comes down with it. Now Anderson has it. Anderson kicks it to Jeffries, who fires the 3. That's a bit strong. Tregar comes down with it for Cairns. Not a bad look, though. You're happy with that shot from Jeffries.
Yeah, well, you know, they're certainly not shy. I think that's the 6-3 already.
And those are the shots that they've been encouraging and taking and making all year. So if you are going to lose, and if this is the end of the road for Brisbane, if they lose with those shots, you can't be unhappy with it.
No, that's right. They got to live and die by it.
How about the pass from Loughton? I didn't realize he played point guard in the QBL. Guys dropping dimes last night, starting off well tonight.
Well, the last 4 possessions for Cairns, they've had Trigger in the post who missed a hook shot. They kicked it out to Loughton for an open 3 who missed. Hoyer in the corner for 3 who missed. And a quality bucket down low. So there's only been 1 score, but they're getting shots for exactly the right guys. And it's just that methodical style of playing that I think is probably why they got the win last night and why they're looking pretty ominous early on here as well.
Yeah.
Fisher loses it on the way up. They're going to get Thompson for the foul. That's what they do. They're aggressive. They contest. Dave, shaking your head. You're not happy with the call?
Oh, no. I don't know what Curdy's complaining about. It's a foul all day.
Loughton has it now on the wing.
And again, that's okay, though. You like the energy that him and Kopsikas bring in lanes. Higher again. Misses the open 3.
A lot of open 3s so far here early for Cairns. Wonder if it's a strategy as Thompson gets straight to the bucket. Misses another layup. Shakes his head. He's got to get that out of his head.
Yeah.
He missed a couple last night, too.
Yeah, but that's better. I mean, you know, I think they look better when they get a bit more penetration as opposed to just swinging around the perimeter or 1 or 2 passes in their flex and then load up a 3.
Turnover on the other end there for the Cairns Marlins. Mitchell tossed it out of bounds. Coach Perlman mentioned to me before the game he doesn't mind turnovers as long as they're smart, aggressive turnovers. That one was a little sloppy there.
I'm sure he minded with 21 turnovers last night, but we get what he was saying. And I don't think they're going to throw 21 again tonight.
Well, you're going to turn the ball over. That's just the fact of playing ball. But if you can keep it, I think, to 13 or 14 and still play the style of game that they play, that's a pretty good night looking after the ball.
Reichardt misses on one end. Higher gets it now. We see the bench unit for the Brisbane Capitals. For the first time tonight, they force a turnover on one end.
Was he out of bounds?
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds on the baseline.
I mean, you know, and last night, Cairns' ball movement was pretty to watch with, I think they had something like 25 assists on 30-something buckets.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, you know, impressive.
And we can see Jeff staying true to his rotations tonight. So he's put last night down to a bit of an aberration. We're going to stay with our stuff. I hope Anderson, Jeffries, Drew Phillips has had a great year, but I hope Anderson, Jeffries don't sit for too long.
Yeah.
Drew Phillips hits the big 3 there. Cuts the lead to 1. It's 9-8 now. Marlins still lead. We see Aaron Bintahal and Chris Daniel checking in now for Cairns. Higher leaves his feet, hits Mitchell. Mitchell skips it. Great look. Good ball movement here. Daniel flips one up. There's a lot of contact. It's no good.
Well, Davis had a bit of a shaky start to last night's game. Wasn't really an impact.
Phillips misses the 3. Again, you said it just a minute ago. They look better when they get at least one pass. That time there, we just see the dribble into the shot.
Well, a week ago against Logan, those shots are getting made, but I don't think that Cairns is going to be disappointed at all if that's the style that Brisbane want to play.
Yeah.
One pass shot, and then Cairns come down the other end, make them play deep for 15, 16 seconds, get to the foul line. You can't do that for 40 minutes if you're Brisbane and expect to get out on top tonight.
Yeah, and that's the exact thing. They're not fatiguing Cairns on D at all. It's just 1 or 2 kicks and a shot, which is their style, which is fine. But again, you know, you've got some older guys, second back-to-back game. I'd be running these guys ragged, the Cairns boys, and seeing what they can do.
Well, I agree, and we know the Brisbane system is largely 5 out, and anything they get in the post, or in the paint rather, is cutters and slashes. It's not, let's run to the post and post someone up.
Yep.
So if you've got Alex Loudon, Cam Trigar, quality guys that Cairns is going to ride all night long, you're letting them off the hook by coming down, going one pass shot. You want them to play D on the perimeter, chasing these smaller, quicker guys for 12, 15 seconds every possession.
And Cairns goes into a bit of a press there. They force the turnover. Mitchell has it. Kicks it for Fisher. Flips one up. It's no good. Daniel tip is no good either. Ball goes out of bounds off of James Mitchell. So Brisbane's going to have ball.
I thought Latin was throwing it back 15 years and was going to tip dunk it.
That's what I would have done, D-Love.
Yeah.
But
You
Alex
do that.
Loudon didn't quite get there.
You do that on a Wednesday night to Derwin, don't you, Dan?
Might have done it a couple of times in my past.
Barker, corner
Stop
three.
it.
That's short. Loudon with another rebound.
That is a gift for Cairns. There's a reason he's wide open in the corner.
Yeah.
And I think it's one thing, and I don't want to sound overly critical. Like, they've had an amazing year playing this style, but there's a reason you're wide open off one pass.
Yeah.
Cairns wants you to shoot that shot.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to shoot it.
Yeah, Barker he's only hit a few threes so far this season. He's 2 of 6. Doesn't take a lot of shots. He's really good, and he had a great job last night, dribble penetration and handing it off as well. I'd like to see him put the ball on the deck there and attack. Just like Fisher did. He left his feet, though, and turns it over. Kopskas comes up with it.
And that's where they made some mistakes last night. You know, you know when you attack, you'll see a number of yellow jerseys in front of you. And last night they probably had about 3 or 4 possessions to start the fourth, which hurt them.
Absolutely.
Once they work that out again, they're okay.
Yeah. And right now is when Anderson, Jeffries need to be coming back into the game. You've got to ride those horses all night long to push this to a third game tomorrow, because if Brisbane can do that, playing at 12 o'clock on a Sunday on a triple header, you're going to be the favourite. You're going to back yourself in that situation, but you've got to get there first.
Phillips hits another 3. Brisbane retakes the lead, 11-10.
Well, a good sign for the bench mob. They probably didn't show up as a fair comment last night, and we said that was going to be a key factor to how Brisbane goes. And so far, Phillips with a couple of threes.
I like what Coach Perlman's doing here. He's shortened the bench. He's got an 8 to 9 man rotation, and he's swapping them through quite quickly. Really smart bench management so far to start this game for Cairns.
Well, he's getting guys rest, but they're not getting out of rhythm. I mean, they can sit for 2 or 3 minutes, get back in, and they're still in the rhythm of the game, but they're refreshed, which I agree, John. It's good management. They're going to need to do that for... That's a great move from Drew, by the way, but it's great management from Coach Perlman so far.
Yeah, Phillips with a nice shake and bake. He thought he was fouled. Now Trigar has a free throw line. Jump shot is off. Phillips comes down with the rebound.
Well, last night we were calling Drew has the green light offensively, and great little snap on Fisher.
Bintahal fouled there by Anthony Kopskas. Again, the crowd not really happy. We're sitting next to the Kopskas clan. They're not happy with the call either. Going up for the rebound. I didn't think there was much contact there. It looked like Bintahal just kind of lost his feet.
Yeah.
But foul called nonetheless. That's the 15th foul on Brisbane. That's going to send Aaron Bintahal to the free throw line for a couple more.
And again, they're going to get them, right? Like I think Cairns was in the bonus. I think Cairns was in the bonus the whole night, every quarter, because that's Brisbane style, up and in, be aggressive, make you uncomfortable. But again, talking to Trigard after the game, he's like, yeah, we know that. We just weather that noise, and then we're okay. And that's where the experience is shown, I think.
Aaron Bintahal hits them both. So Cairns retakes the lead. It's 12-11 here with 2:15 to go in the first quarter. Bit tighter defensively. Kopskas turns it over. Fisher has it now. He's going 1-on-2, gets right to the rack. Layup is good. That's a strong finish there from Fisher.
Yeah, a couple of real careless turnovers from Kopskas with the ball, just bringing it up, not even under pressure, just throwing it away.
Phillips again, driving left, picks up his dribble, trying to draw the contact. Loughton comes up with it for Cairns. Smart play by Fisher now. Over to Bintahal. Looking inside for Trigar. It's not there just yet. Over the top to Daniel. Now Bintahal has it. gets inside the paint. They're going to call Drew Phillips for the reaching foul, and Aaron Bintahal is going to go to the line for his 5th and 6th free throws here in the first quarter already.
Yeah, well, Brisbane aggressive defensively. Obviously, as you mentioned a minute ago, we all know that, but I think they've got to try and get that under control because you can't keep sending these guys to the line. I was just thinking a minute or two ago that Cairns hasn't played that great in the first quarter. Yeah, they're up, and this is why I think a lot of people last night and tonight will be saying, why is Anderson sitting for 3 or 4 minutes? This is a chance for Brisbane on their home court. There's great energy in the building. Got a great crowd supporting you again. I think Anderson, Jeffries, Dusty, they need to be out there taking advantage of Cairns having a pretty sluggish start to the game.
Bintahal misses 2, and then he's fouled again by Barker. Barker trying to get onto the floor, get the defensive rebound. It was a loose ball. You love the hustle, but there was definite body contact there.
Like, the crowd's not happy, but I mean, Tony is a long-time quality national world championship level official, so she's not going to be bothered by the crowd at all.
Yeah, they got.
And that's a foul.
Yeah.
And it's just an example of you can have hustle, but that's fake hustle right there. I mean, you can't be diving on the ball, knowing you're about to foul somebody, sending them to the line for points 15 and 16 and a minute left in the first quarter. I just don't understand that. But
yeah.
Brisbane need their veterans in with cooler heads who've been there the last few years. And
another offensive rebound, just like the last free throw.
Those are going to start to hurt. Now Trigar has it, puts it on the deck. Going to work the perimeter here. Fisher open for 3, gets it to Loughton in the corner. His jump shot's off. Trigar with another offensive rebound
right there.
And this is what kills Brisbane's transition game as well. They take the ball out of a foul shot. Cairns get their D set, or off a bucket like that, Cairns have the D set. So that transition flow that Brisbane live on is much harder to get going.
Yep.
Anderson now back in the game. He's got 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Baseline jump shot is strong. Tipped around. Trigar comes down with it. Gee, he's a beast.
He's doing work on both ends. Trigger wants to wrap it up in 2.
Fisher now with the horn set. Goes off the Trigar screen. Kicks it out. Good ball movement here. Bintahal has it with 10 on the shot clock. Gets his feet in the paint. Kicks it out. Fisher 3 is up. It's off. Tipped around. Malloy can't handle it. Jake Davis throws it out of bounds. They're going to say,
I think Cairns ball.
I couldn't see who went up.
It's Cairns ball, yeah. Absolutely.
Another, Loughton on the glass again.
Great hustle there. Jake Davis tried to throw it off Loughton, but he stepped out of bounds. So Cairns will have possession with a fresh shot clock. Up 6 with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Inbounds pass to Trigar. That's too easy.
That's an old school pick the picker action. Cairns are looking good. They are running and executing their stuff. Not playing great, but they're getting shots for the right guys.
Yeah.
And you don't want Trigger to heat up either, by the way.
No. He was reasonably hot last night.
Reichardt, long jump shot is off. Loughton comes down with it. And Cairns can hold for the last shot of the quarter. There's 7 seconds to go. Fisher has it. He leaves his feet. Loughton's going to fire a 3. That's good. And the Cairns Marlins going to go into the quarter time break. Doubled up on the Brisbane Capitals, 22-11. Brisbane didn't recognize the clock coming down. They cheated on Fisher. Great look, and Loughton drains it.
Yeah, all night. I knew he was hitting that.
Boys, 22-11 at the quarter. What are your thoughts?
For me, I don't want to repeat myself from halfway through the quarter, but I just feel like Cairns didn't have a great quarter. The last couple of possessions, got to the foul line, offensive rebound and a 3 on the buzzer to get them to 22 points. But the first 7 or 8 minutes, they were sluggish, I felt, which was a chance for Brisbane to kind of put their stamp on the game. But even though they're sluggish and missing shots, they were executing their stuff, and the right guys were getting the right looks. Brisbane, I just felt like the great energy in the building gets taken away a little bit when you sit Dusty and Jeffries and Zach Carter, Anderson. You can't sit them for that long in Game 2 of a grand final when you're down 0-1. So I would hope that part of the structures and the changes that the Capitals are going to make now is Anderson better play the whole 10 minutes of this quarter unless he gets hurt or gets in foul trouble. I reckon he needs to ride these guys and let them get in a rhythm, let them get up tempo, and let this crowd get excited. That's going to help them carry them over.
Yeah, I think so. Dave, what are your thoughts? You want to take a look at some of the stats?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think the 4 of 21 says it all. Plenty of pretty good looks for Brisbane. I mean, they're not going to feel too bad about themselves. They've just got to make shots, and that's just a simple thing. I did think coming into tonight, it was either going to be a 1 or 2 point game or a 30-point beatdown.
Well, explain this. Ryan Jeffries played 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Jake Davis, who I'm a big fan of, played 5 minutes and 5 seconds. I don't understand how you can get the bench coming in playing more minutes than the starters. Zach Carter comes out and hits an offensive rebound to put it back, drained it through in the next possession, played 4 minutes.
Yep.
Anderson played 6, Dusty played 6. They've got a quality bench, and that's been a key for them the last few years, Brisbane, during the regular season. But on a night like tonight, in the situation that we're in, you've got to ride your big dogs all night long.
Yeah, Jeffries was their top scorer last night. He was the only one who really kept them in the game.
Yeah.
You know, they had a short leash with him. We see him back out on the court. The other thing, guys, is it takes you out of your rhythm. If you're not in the game, you can't get a rhythm either, which is costly.
Well, you know I like my PTP, points in the paint. Cairns 12, Brisbane 2.
And Brisbane, like we've said, don't post up to get those buckets. Trigger is heating up.
And there's another one.
That's ominous for Cairns.
14 to 2 points in the paint.
And that's just a dime from Loughton, too, to hit him.
Yeah.
But Brisbane's points in the paint are off this kind of play. Penetration, offensive rebounds. That's how they're going to get their looks, and you can't do that if you're not in rhythm.
I think, I think it's a critical 3 or 4 minutes here in the game. If Brisbane doesn't chip in and get it back to 8, I think it could be over real quick.
It's getting ominous here. They're going to go back to the starters again. You see Carter gets set to check in. Thompson's back in as well. Let's see if the starters can get the Brisbane Capitals back in this game. At the moment, they're down 13 with just under 10 minutes to go in the first half here.
Again, plenty of good looks for Brisbane. They just got to knock down some shots.
Well, I hope they do get back in it because they deserve to be back in it. They've got a great crowd, and these guys have had a great couple of years. So let's see if these guys can get some rhythm, get shots for their big fellas, Anderson, Dusty, Jeffries, and let's make this a ball game. That's what we all came to see.
Yeah, Thompson missed the jumper there. It was a fight for the rebound, tipped around Loughton, tipped it over to, I think it was Daniel that came down with it. Now Daniel looks inside for Loughton. It's tipped out of bounds off of Dusty Rykard. So Cairns has 11 seconds to go on the shot clock.
And again, the swarming Brisbane D is great, forcing the deflection. But they also have to stay in front of their man, and that's what they struggled with last night. They threw plenty of pump fakes, got them up off their feet, and then just went 5-on-4 and so forth and went to work.
Dusty Rykard tips another one out of bounds. Now it's 3 seconds to go on the shot clock for Cairns. We see Kurt Awang on the court for Cairns. He gave them some great minutes last night too. Let's see what Cairns can do here with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock.
This is a turnaround for Trigger. That's what it's going to be.
I was going to say.
And it's going to be money.
There it is.
The turnaround trigger was guaranteed the shot.
Can't do much more with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Sideline out of bounds, Kenya. Carter, corner 3 is up. That's off the back of the rim. No good. Damon Heyer comes down with the board. And at the moment, guys, this is what we're talking about. Guys are trying to shoot themselves into a rhythm because they've been on the bench for so long.
Yeah.
Now Heyer fires a 3. That's good. 27-11 the lead. Coach Jeff Tarrant has seen enough. He's going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 27-11 the lead for the Cairns Marlins over the Brisbane Capitals. It's the QBL Grand Finals Game 2 presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
In-depth video analysis is no longer just for the pros. Huddle is an easy and affordable tool that brings professional level insight to club and high school teams. Just film and track events live at games and upload them to huddle.com. Accelerate player development with team messaging, automatically generated shot charts and reports, and the ability to add notes and drawings to your video. Coaches can exchange game footage with their entire league, all from one place. Huddle even allows athletes to create highlights to help them get noticed. Sign up for a free trial to see for yourself how Huddle helps teams win.
Back with you here in NAB Stadium in Auckland Flower. It's a 27-11 lead for the Cairns Marlins over the Brisbane Capitals. Good time out there for Coach Tarrant. I'm sure he shot a rocket up his team. They came out flat to start the second quarter. They're now down 16. Boys, what do the Capitals need to correct to get themselves back into this one?
Well, again, you know, we've been the blowout kings, Johnny, with a lot of the Basketball Queensland Game of the Week. And they just got to chip away, have their targets. That's a great start. and just be patient. You don't have to win the game in the second quarter, so chip away. Defensively, they just got to start disrupting what Cairns are after.
Loughton tries to answer with his own three. That's no good. Carter comes down with it.
And again, if I'm Tarrant, I'm happy with that, right? Loughton shooting fadeaway threes, no worries. Shoot that all night long.
Anderson's three is strong. Daniel comes down with it for Cairns.
They got to get guys on the boards too. I mean, you know, they all know the offense. They know where they're going to get the shots. Only one offensive rebound so far for Brisbane. And again, when you're shooting the ball poorly, you've got to score in other ways.
Higher again, getting his feet in the paint. And for Trigger Trigar, that's just like, that's cake right there for Trigger. 29-14 the lead here for Cairns. Jeffrey skips it over to Thompson. Thompson baseline jumper is blocked there by Daniel from behind. Now Loughton has it over to Higher. Higher had a great game last night. He finds Daniel open in the corner. Three-pointer is up. That's short. Tipped around. Reichardt comes down with it. Now Anderson skips ahead for Zach Carter. Jeffrey's now in the corner. He'll bring it back out. And Brisbane will settle down. Anderson, great first step. Kicks it out. Jeffrey's open for three, but he stepped out of bounds. That's a turnover there for Brisbane. It was great ball movement. They got the dribble penetration they were after.
And that's what you need to see more of. I mean, Anderson, you know, he has got one of the quickest first steps that I've seen. And he's got to be more aggressive. Like, carry the team. The team needs it right now.
Absolutely. And it comes back to your point about points in the paint. It doesn't mean you've got to go post someone up. But Anderson, Jeffries, these guys have got to penetrate and make Kansas defense collapse so someone like a Zach Carter or even a Dusty or these guys can get good quality open looks. You can't just go 1, 2, 3 passes against a quality veteran team and expect to win a game like that, let alone a championship.
Yeah, they're really forcing it now. Defensively, they're up and in, but they're just making silly mistakes by just silly, cheap fouls.
And they haven't cut into this lead at all so far this quarter, coming down to the 6-minute mark. But I really hope that we see this 5 as Trigger again goes to work. But that's work because they get ball movement, Loughton penetrates, the D collapses. Dusty helps and there's no one to help him, and Trigger walks in for offensive rebounds. Great team offense from Cairns, but I hope, what I was about to say was I hope that these guys from Brisbane stay on the floor and they get another 3 or 4 minutes playing together to run themselves into some style here. Yeah. Let's not go to the bench yet.
Yeah, it's a good sign for them. Anderson hitting the corner 3. He needs to get going as well. Awang has it now, working on Jeffries. Good D. Loughton jumper is strong. Tipped around, but Carter comes down with it. Let's see if Brisbane can amp up the intensity here. Anderson, good hesitation, finishes with the right hand. It's now a 12-point lead for Cairns. Coach Jamie Perlman's going to take a timeout. I like the timeout here. You're still up 12, but Brisbane gaining a little momentum. Let's slow things down, boys.
Yeah, real smart timeout. A lot of coaches think they're Phil Jackson and let their guys play. I'm all about winning. That was a great timeout. 2 quick buckets. Let's nip that in the bud. Refocus the troops.
Yeah, we'll take a timeout as well. 5:52 to go in the first half here. It's a 31-19 lead for the Cairns Marlins over the Brisbane Capitals. Pete Pollock, you're on the live stream. Say hi to everyone. Go Cairns. All right, boys. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with you shortly here. QBL Grand Finals Game 2 presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
Hi, my name is Jade and I play basketball for Queensland.
Well, some of the great things about the Aussie Hoops program would be the younger kids, developing their skills at lower ages.
The thing I love about playing basketball would be working as a team. I also love the energy and the atmosphere basketball has.
Favourite training session of the week would be my club training. It's more involved than just individual sessions.
If a kid approached me about playing basketball for the first time, I would definitely tell them about how much fun it is. Basketball's a game for everyone, and it's also an all year round sport.
It doesn't matter what shape or size you are, give basketball.
Back with you here, guys, in NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. There's Trigar. He turns it over. Anderson comes up with the steal.
Yeah, better signs here from Brisbane as they're pushing the pace. Again, good pump fake from Carter on the rim. Draws the foul. this is something that they don't do much of, which is get to the free throw line.
Yeah, good aggressive play there by Zach Carter. He's going to go to line for 2 shots. 31-19. Probably not what Coach Perlman wanted out of that timeout.
No, defensively it's all right. I think Tony and Coach Tarrant are having some words on the bench. There's only one person winning that.
And it ain't Coach Tarrant.
I don't know what he was firing up about. Good take, good foul.
Carter goes 1 of 2, so the lead is now 11. This is a key moment here, I think, for Cairns and Brisbane as well. Brisbane has to keep under control here. Anderson gets his hands on another one there.
Yeah, and this is where they just need to be patient, Brisbane. Again, if they go into the half, 6 to 8 points, start feeling better about themselves, get in the flow of the game.
Mitchell has it now.
I mean, they got to recognize trigger down low on Jeffries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kurt Thompson gets called for the foul.
And
that's his 3rd personal, too.
Yeah, that one hurts. And the Brizzy boys are going to have to just keep their calm here because I don't think, they've complained about a few calls. And the refs might just remind them who's in control soon.
Pass inside for Trigar. He's blocked by Kurt Thompson. And then Jeffrey steals it from Trigar. Gee, Thompson's lucky there.
I was going to say, Curdy is fine with fire. I thought he did actually foul him, so that would have been devastating for his night.
Anderson now top of the key, gets his feet in the paint, hands it off for Jeffries. He can't finish. Tipped around. Trigar comes down with it. Now Fisher has it for Cairns. He goes over and back. Good call by the referee on the far side here. Fisher just touched the half-court spot and then came back over.
Good pressure, good D-trans from Brisbane. Pick up the ball, stop the ball.
Kopskis and Phillips come into the game for the Capitals here. Trigar is going to get a breather as well for the Cairns Marlins. Kopskis has it now. Carter coming off the screen. Now Phillips has it. Good pump fake. Good D by Mitchell. Phillips crossing over. Flips up the left-hander. It's good. And we're back into single digits. The deficit now for the Capitals, 31-22.
That's just a great individual move from Drew Phillip. Good defense, quality offensive play.
Corner 3 for Mitchell. That's good. What an answer.
Great answer. Exactly, fellas. Great answer from Cairns.
That's Mitchell's 2nd 3 of the night. Increases the lead back up to 12 now.
I mean, as a basketball fan, you've got to love Cairns' composure at the moment, don't you? They just look so comfortable and aren't worried about the crowd or Brisbane's runs. They're just doing their thing.
Yep. Anderson rocks the baby and then drains the 3. So then a bit aggressive on the defense there from the Capitals. Too aggressive from Drew Phillips. He's going to pick up his 2nd personal. And Coach Tarrant going to go back to the bench. Barker and Malloy check in for Carter and Reichart. The Caps down 9, 3:43 to go in the quarter.
Well, it was 27 to 11 or 12 3 minutes ago. That's what we were saying. Let those guys run it out. They're on a run. They're playing well. Offense is flowing. Don't make a change just for the sake of it.
Higher tip pass to Fisher. 3 is good. Daniel with the nice tip pass to Fisher in the corner for the 3. Now Barker thought about it. He'll bring it back out to Aaron Anderson. Anderson working on Higher. Higher giving him the baseline. He comes off the Malloy screen. Good hesitation. Great look. Barker reverse layup. No good, but he's fouled. So Alex Barker is going to go to the line for a couple free throws.
Again, Anderson penetration equals a good outcome.
Well, speed in the paint. That's the key for everybody.
Yeah. It's a pretty simple formula.
Good to see you rocking the Still Our Eyes shirts tonight too, D-Lo.
Great foundation.
Repping it out. I like that a lot.
So
StillOurEyes.com.au.
Yeah.
Doing good things.
Get your donations, guys. All the funds raised for Still Our Eyes go to patients suffering from cancer, going through the process of the diagnosis, going through the treatment and post-treatment. So make the donation, guys. Every single dollar, every single cent that you donate goes direct to the people benefiting from the foundation's care. Mitchell now gets his feet in the paint. That's Loughton. I'm not used to seeing Loughton that deep in the paint, but he finishes strong.
Well, every now and then he forgets where the three-point line is, Johnny, and he ventures back in the key.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in the paint too much these first 2 games. Got a great seal there, though, inside.
Yeah, he's been terrific for Cairns this year.
Phillips has it now with 6 on the shot clock. Crossing over, finds Barker again. Corner 3 is up. That's too strong. Great offensive rebound by Kopskis. Out to Anderson now. Gonna reset here. 9 seconds to go. Anderson has it. We're gonna go one-on-one with Heyer. That's definitely a blocking call. I'm glad they didn't call that charge. Heyer had the idea, but he was just half a step short.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in that. I mean, got him square on the chest.
It's definitely close. It's one of those calls that if this was a game in Cairns, maybe he gets it.
Yeah.
But I agree, that's a blocking call to me as well every time. Good call from the officials.
Yeah. Timeout taken on the floor. We'll take one as well. 2:26 to go in the first half. Cairns up on Brisbane, 39-26 on the QBL Grand Finals, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
In-depth video analysis is no longer just for the pros. Huddle is an easy and affordable tool that brings professional level insight to club and high school teams. Just film and track events live at games and upload them to huddle.com. Accelerate player development with team messaging, automatically generated shot charts and reports, and the ability to add notes and drawings to your video. Coaches can exchange game footage with their entire league, all from one place. Sign up for a free trial to see for yourself how Huddle helps teams win.
Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auckland Flower as the Cairns Marlins lead the Brisbane Capitals 39-26 in Game 2 of the Grand Final Series. Cairns looking to wrap things up, fellas. They weathered the storm. They got it back out to 13. Great job by Cairns. What does Brisbane need to do here, guys? It's 13 points, the deficit. Coach Tarrant going to the bench unit for a spark again.
Well, Brisbane have a certain style of playing, and it's got you this far, so no matter what I or we say about it, you've got to stay true to who you are, and that is playing up-tempo basketball, pushing the speed, trying to get penetration and three-point shots, and you hope those shots fall. I just hope that within that system, they get shots for the right guys, as Anderson, he needs shots. I'm glad he's being aggressive in the second quarter, but I was going to finish that by saying I hope they get shots for the right guys, and most of those guys, for me, are sitting on the bench right now. So the one change I would make is run those guys more minutes. This is a do-or-die Game 7. You need a W, obviously.
Good ball movement here. Awang open for three. It's up. It's short. Yeah, that one's going to go out of bounds.
Well, Brisbane currently 10 of 33 so far for the night. So, you know, they just have to simply make some shots.
Yeah, I thought Kopskis last night did a great job being aggressive and getting into the paint. We haven't seen him in the paint too much tonight. Anderson, though, has had a lot of success getting his feet in the paint. Here he goes again. Good pass over to Barker. Now Anderson again. 8 seconds to go now on the shot clock. Kopskis has it for Brisbane. Here he goes. He's aggressive, trying to be. Kicks it out to Anderson. Corner three is up. It's off. And Daniel corrals the D-board.
Anderson gave it up then with 8 or 9 seconds on the clock. To me, he's got to say, he's a point guard, and he's a great point guard, but he's got to say it's winning time, and he's got to put this second unit on his back right here. And he's either got to shoot or make the assist on almost every possession.
Yeah. And Mitchell getting aggressive, going through the paint. Anderson going to get called for the blocking foul. Both teams have 4 team fouls with a minute 13 to go in the half.
I'd like to see Trigger come back in for the last minute here too. He's got 12 points, no fouls.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him come back in, get 1 or 2 more buckets, keep his rhythm going, and obviously keep the ball ticking over for Cairns.
I think Gilboy is just confirming if it's the 4th, but I think it's side ball, so no shots yet. Both got 4.
Yeah, I thought Mitchell, you know, he definitely was on his way to the bucket, but he passed it.
Yeah.
Maybe if he flipped one up, he would have got the shots.
Absolutely.
Daniel has it on the wing. Cairns with 5 seconds to go on the shot clock, and Fisher, he lost his shoe. Loughton's going to have to get a shot off here. And then they're going to call an offensive foul as Loughton got a bit out of control. Anthony Fisher lost his shoe somehow, some way. He shook himself out of his own shoe.
Well, that's something you don't see every day.
No, you don't. Hopefully his shoe's not blown out. Looks like he can just relace it and get it back on. Let's
keep it here, fellas. There's about a minute to go now in the half. What's your feel, guys? I think at the moment Cairns doing a really good job keeping the game at their pace. We said a lot earlier, they're playing smart, they're playing their own game. They're not letting Brisbane attack them. They did a great job in D-Trans last night, and that's carried over into game 2. We haven't seen many fast break points from Brisbane.
Well, they're running methodical offense as well, and obviously defense wins championships, we all say that, but great offense against a team like Brisbane is also a great defense.
Yeah.
Because they're playing 16, 17-second offense almost every possession, making 3-4 ball reversals, setting good picks, getting good looks, and that makes it nearly impossible for Brisbane to play their transition game, which is the only style of game that they can play.
Yeah.
So we can see them coming down in the half court, and what we're getting is Brisbane struggling without the trans game, and it becomes an ISO for Anderson with 9 seconds on the shot clock, which given his quality is not a bad thing, but it means that these other guys aren't necessarily getting the looks they're used to getting.
Yeah, well, 17 all in the second quarter so far, so certainly a better comeback from Brisbane. And, you know, they're right there. They're okay. I think they're fine. Make a couple of shots, get the crowd back in the game, but they got to have stops. I mean,
well, this is a huge minute, D-Lo.
Yeah, 39 points in a half, sorry. You know, that's pretty good defensively, right? They're okay. So,
well, we've got Damien Hoyer with foul trouble on the bench. That's been up at
Phillips' open 3 is way off. He knew it was off as soon as it left his hands.
This is a huge 49 seconds, down 11. This could be either a 9-10 point halftime lead or a 15-6.5 point lead. So let's see how this plays out.
Bintahal in the game. Now Wang, they work it around to Mitchell. Mitchell putting it on the deck, trying to squeeze through the D. He loses it. Just not a smart play there from the captain. Let's see if Brisbane can capitalize.
Yeah, just forced it unnecessarily. Davis for 3.
In rhythm, too. Big bucket there for Jake Davis. Cuts the lead to 8. That's what you like to see. Just catch it and shoot. No hesitation there from the youngster.
Where's Trigger?
Bintahal now with Kopskas on him. There's about 1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Bintahal going to try and isolate on Tommy Malloy here. Kicks it to Mitchell. Mitchell going to shoot the 3 with confidence. Oh. That's good. Another huge bucket there by James Mitchell. It's another 3, increasing the lead to 11 again. The second time in 2 quarters, Mitchell hits a big dagger 3.
Yeah. If we could freeze that to last possession, we had Malloy ISO'd. Obviously a mismatch. But we could have hit pause, and from my view, I had a great angle on it. There was literally 5 Brisbane defenders in the paint.
Yeah.
You got to help. Malloy's probably going to get beat on transition. Penetration. But you've now got 2-3 guys on the weak side for Cairns naked.
Yeah.
And Mitchell made them pay. So you can play pack defense like that. But you got to know who you're guarding, and you can't leave Mitchell that wide open. He made them pay.
No, it was a really nice pass from Bintahal, but again, just poor recognition defensively.
And we saw Malloy kind of ask, guys, where's the help here?
Yeah.
He's looking. He knows he's ISO'd on a guy who's much smaller and quicker than him. You know, Brisbane just fell asleep there. Mitchell made him pay yet again. Guys, it's halftime here, so we're going to take a break. It's 42-31 the lead for the Cairns Marlins over the Brisbane Capitals in Game 2 of the QBL Grand Final Series, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
Hi, my name is Jade and I play basketball for Queensland.
Well, some of the great things about the Aussie Hoops program would be the younger kids, you know, developing their skills at lower ages.
The thing I love about playing basketball would be working as a team. I also love the energy and the atmosphere basketball has.
Favourite training session of the week would be my club training. It's more involved than just individual sessions.
If a kid approached me about playing basketball for the first time, I would definitely tell them about how much fun it is. Basketball's a game for everyone, and it's also an all year round sport.
It doesn't matter what shape or size you are, give basketball a go.
In-depth video analysis is no longer just for the pros. Huddle is an easy and affordable tool that brings professional level insight to club and high school teams. Just film and track events live at games and upload them to huddle.com. Accelerate player development with team messaging, automatically generated shot charts and reports, and the ability to add notes and drawings to your video. Coaches can exchange game footage with their entire league, all from one place. Huddle even allows athletes to create highlights to help them get noticed. Sign up for a free trial to see for yourself how Huddle helps teams win.
Welcome back to NAB Stadium here in Auchenflower. It is halftime, and the Cairns Marlins are up by 11, 42-31 over the Brisbane Capitals. I'm John Guarner from Nothing But Net Media. On the booth with me tonight, Dave Derwin and Dan George. Dave, let's talk to you first. Let's look at these halftime statistics. When you look at it numbers-wise, Cairns has been pretty impressive in this first half.
Yeah, I think, again, a few too many turnovers, 8 for the half, and versus Brisbane's 3. And that's probably why Brisbane's just clinging to the game, because they're only shooting 30% from the floor. And again, hit 7 threes though, so that's their thing. I think Cairns obviously look pretty comfortable, but all it takes is 2 or 3 threes from Brisbane to get the boys juiced again and get back in the ball game.
Yeah, I think Cairns has done a great job defensively, though, really limiting those open 3 looks. The threes that Caps have taken, we've only seen a few of them come off of that dribble penetration. Cairns doing a great job defending the 3-point arc.
Yeah, I mean, the other big statistic too, Johnny, is the 9 offensive rebounds from Cairns. They're out rebounding Brisbane by 17. I did say 17 right now.
Yep.
Again, a lot of missed shots, and that's going to skew it, obviously. So, you know, but I think they just chip away, get the game back under control. You know, I mean, for me, Brisbane's goal, win the third quarter.
Yes.
That's plain and simple. 1 point's fine. You know, then you're heading into the final quarter with, you know, a few shots away.
Yeah, if you're Brisbane, you're certainly not going to win the game in this third quarter, but you could definitely lose it if you let it get out of control.
Yeah, if they don't win the quarter, I think they're done. No, I think they have to win the third quarter in order to give Cairns a bit of a shake-up and show them that they can get it done.
I think you also have to take into consideration at the moment what the Capitals are going to do to make the adjustments here at the break. I think, again, you know, we said it all night last night. We'll say it again tonight. I think they have to continue to roll with that starting unit. The bench at the moment hasn't given them the spark that they're used to, Thunder.
I agree. And I think you get to a championship game or championship series based on the depth. They've done a great job of bringing on juniors like Jake Davis and developing the young talent, but it's winning time, and you've got to ride your big dogs. Dusty, Anderson, Jeffries, Carter, these guys are going to win it or lose it with them. And if they lose by Dusty Reichert going 4 of 16, who cares? If they lose because Anderson's gone 7 of 24, who cares? But those guys have to get looks.
I think Brisbane also, I'm expecting them to amp up the pressure here. We didn't see much full court. I think they got to try and force some more Cairns turnovers
100%.
and capitalize on it.
Well, that's a great point, John. I think that does is that it gives Trigger and Loughton 11 or 12 seconds to get a look, not 15 or 16 like they got now.
Well,
speed up the game. It's a great point.
I just had a look, Thunder. So the starting unit is 7 of 25. So, you know, that they got a...
And how many shots have they had in total?
36.
36, yeah.
So, you know, that's the guys are going to, this starting group is either going to win it for them or they're going to be bridesmaids again.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
If they're your guys, and you hang with them, and if you get a win, great. If not, you regroup, you come back next year. But this is going to be a great 20 minutes of basketball. I would love to see the difference in game plan that Brisbane's going to roll out. Hopefully the 5 are on the court now, get a lot of burn, a lot of minutes. There's some full court pressure D, and they just take Cairns out of their offense because so far they've been methodical. Perlman's been impressive, and they look really good.
All right, well, the second half is underway here. Brisbane has possession to start the half. Anderson fires a 3. It's short. Mitchell comes down with it. So not a bad look for Anderson, just can't finish.
Yeah, good look through their offense.
The other thing that I would love to see is some side on balls. Anderson, Reichert, run some 2-man game just to give Cairns a different look to guard.
And here's that patience here. It's 5 seconds to go. Fisher fires a 3. That rattles home. Big bucket to start the half for Cairns.
I think one of the differences or the different styles of play that Brisbane have to get is that, right, Dusty's got to shoot that ball. Brisbane get nothing in the paint. We've been talking about that, but that means that they don't make Cairns guard anybody. So Cairns aren't going to get in foul trouble if all you're doing is jacking up threes. You've got to put pressure on the rim and force Tony and these referees to make a call and get Cairns in foul trouble. That's exactly what Cairns have done to them.
Yeah, well, that's what Dusty Reichert tried to do. He didn't get the call. He lost the ball out of bounds. So that's a turnover for the Capitals.
Yeah, great D from Trigger to just remain these hands and body straight up.
Good
Just
hands
say great
there.
D from Trigger.
Good D from Anderson. He's stripped on the way up. Fisher's going to pick up the foul.
Hey, we go way back.
It was great D. Hey, I go way back with Trigger too. He's been, I think 20 years ago, he was probably putting 40 on me here on this very court. So I know he's a tough cover because he's whooped my ass enough times for me to know that.
So what's the gag there then, Dave?
Well, I think you're inferring, one of you guys is inferring Trigger doesn't play a great deal of D. I mean,
I would never say that.
I think early in his career, that was probably true. But in all seriousness, he's improved so much that he can more than hold his own at the NBL level as a defender. But his offense is so good that if we're going to be a hater, he doesn't play D. That's what you're going to say about someone who drops 40 every week, whereas really, he's solid at both ends of the court. He's just exceptional on offense.
And I think, back to your point, Thunder, I think I'd like to see them putting Loughton or Trigger in an on-ball and making them, come out and play some D. Move the big dudes around.
Well, that's exactly what that was the point earlier.
Yeah.
Send Reichert, or let's say whoever Trigger's guarding, come set an on-ball for Anderson. Because at the moment, all he's doing is giving soft closeouts on a Zach Carter shooter who's not really playing that well.
Yeah.
It lets him off the hook, and it means he's got all his energy to go beat him up in the post down the other end. You've got to make him work or get him in foul trouble.
Great
You can't do that the way you're
pass.
going.
Fisher,
Great look. Great look there from Fisher, and the foul for Trigger. Let's take another look at that one, fellas. Here we go in the half court. Fisher gets his feet in the paint. Bullet pass inside for Trigger to finish, and the foul.
Just, again, not getting guys, bodies in front.
This game's over, fellas. Brisbane have made no adjustments at halftime, and Cairns continue to be methodical. Barring someone or two or three guys just catching fire for Brisbane, I think we're going to wrap it up tonight.
Carter's pass nearly stolen there by Mitchell. He recovers it over to Jeffries. Jeffries putting it on the deck. Now Reichert out to Anderson with 5 on the shot clock. He's at the free throw line. He's got 2 seconds. Throws up a wild one off the side of the backboard. That's a shot clock violation.
Again, they're doing it at both ends too, Johnny. I mean, that was a great defensive set. The stuff that gets it done. I mean, the full clock. They defended the whole 24 seconds. Get the violation. Scrambled well.
That's championship basketball. That is championship basketball to a T. Getting it done on the offensive end. Inside, outside. Here comes Loughton. Good pump fake. Now Trigger has it. Into the corner. Fisher, a lot of contact there, and Jeffrey's going to get called for the foul. 51-35 the lead here for Cairns over the Caps. Chris Daniel getting set to check back in for the Marlins. James Mitchell going to get a breather. He's had a cracking game, the Cairns captain, tonight.
Well, he was a big reason why they got that stop down the other end. Did a good job of containing.
And then Heyer loses it out of bounds. Heyer's been quiet tonight, but it's been Trigger, Loughton, Fisher has stepped up. Mitchell has had a great game. Last night it was Damon Heyer. Cairns Marlins showing their depth as well here. And good D again by Trigger on Reichert. Phillips going to fire a 3. That's short. Tipped around by Thompson. Trigger comes down with it.
I love the fundamentals of Fisher. He's just a real solid player. And he's controlled with the ball. Nothing really phases him.
Great extra pass there from Fisher. It's 19 points the lead now for Cairns. Jeffries tries to answer. That's off. Loughton comes down with it. Now Fisher has it again. Loughton, good veteran play there. Works some clock.
Well, if they get a score here, Coach Tarrant has to blow another timeout.
No look past the Heyer. He's going to fire a 3. It's good. Back-to-back threes for Damon Heyer. 22 points the lead. And the Brisbane Capitals are forced to take a timeout as the Cairns Marlins putting a stamp on this one in the third quarter.
I think the last couple of possessions has just summed up this style of game perfectly to me. We've seen 2 higher three-point shots. The first one came off 15, 16 seconds of quality ball movement. Everyone getting a touch. 2-3 reversals. Brisbane, and he makes it. Brisbane come down and go dribble, 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 no pass shot from Jeffries, which is their style.
Yeah.
So you got to live with it.
Yep.
Cairns get the rebound, come down again. 15, 16 seconds of penetration, ball reversal, methodical offense for another wide open shot for their guy. They just work so hard to get quality looks for the guys that they want to get the looks for, which is obviously Hoyer, Lowton and Trigar as priorities. And to me, that's the difference, and that's championship basketball to my mind.
Yeah.
The style that they're playing just contrasts Brisbane so much. And last week, when they're on fire, well, it looks great. But they have to make adjustments, and so far they've failed to do that. And that's why it looks like, barring a minor miracle, Cairns has taken home another championship.
Yeah. The other thing too, I mean, obviously we don't see the northern teams all that much, depending on the Basketball Queensland schedule for the game of the week. But you know, geez, they got hot at the right time, and what a great team they are. Such balance, great point guard, leadership, Damien High's scoring ability, just good basketball IQ, and you know, I see it being a high 30s win.
Oh, if Brisbane's going to make a run, it's got to start right now, and it's the bench unit plus Aaron Anderson on the court at the moment. Anderson has it in the corner. He'll fire a three. That's short. Trigar with another rebound. He's got to have 15 rebounds tonight.
And this to me, though, and I'm conscious not to sound overly critical, but the reaction to Cairns making a run is not to pull your starters and run your bench. There are other adjustments that you've got to make, to my mind. I mean, Trigar is going to have a field day down there against this second unit.
Another offensive rebound. I think that's their 11th of the game.
Daniel comes skying in for the rebound. It's 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Heyer flips it up for Trigar. He misses, but tips his own miss. Up and in.
They're plus 19 on the glass.
I mean, anytime you do that, you're going to be tough to beat. Look at their shooting statistics on top of that, and there's your 24-point lead. Davis tries to fire his three. That's no good. Lowton comes down with it, and Cairns happy for Brisbane to take the one shot. One and done. Oh, bit of miscommunication there. Lowton was expecting trigger in the corner.
I don't think too many Brisbane supporters anticipated a 35-point score after 25 minutes.
Yeah, and I think, again, we talked about the Cairns defense, but Cairns offense is not allowing Brisbane to get that tempo going because they're shooting at an impressive clip.
Yeah.
Especially coming out in the second half here.
And they've been doing it right from the first minute or two of the game. If you come down, and good on you, Jake, for taking that in. And Malloy, just take it straight up and finish it. No need to bring that down there from the big fella. Just tap it straight in.
Yeah, well,
but
sorry, Thunder, you go.
No,
I was going to say, it's a 15-4 run to start the third here.
Yeah, well, there you go. And that just shows to the lack of adjustment at halftime from Brisbane. They had to make a change, and they haven't, and it's just more of the same. But I think, John, to your point, Cairns has just been so methodical offensively. Like, Brisbane, when they get in their flow, are awesome offensively. High tempo, good shooting, space the floor, pack in on D. But when Cairns come out and make them play for 15, 16 seconds every possession, we said it in the first 5 minutes of the game, that you can't do that and come down and take quick shots all night long. And you're just seeing the gradual impact that that's having of a 10-point game becoming 15 as Cairns continue to plug away and Brisbane get tired playing D, which is impacting their shooting at a pretty poor clip. And this lead's not coming down. 22 points, I think, is just going to keep extending out unless Cairns run their bench.
Well, let's see what Daniel can do with it. He's got the ball now. He's stripped by Phillips. They're going to get Drew Phillips for the reach-in foul. That's 4 team fouls for Brisbane. That's Drew Phillips' 4th personal foul as well.
Well, they're not going to chip away with keep on getting foul after foul. They just got to play good team percentages. Stay in front of their guy, get stops, build pressure.
We can see they're playing a bit of a zone type of offense, which I guess you've got to try something, and hopefully that gives them the ability to get stops and run. But if you give up offensive boards, you're not going to be running too far.
No.
5 seconds to go now on the shot clock for Cairns. Bintahal flips up a wild one. It nearly goes in. He tipped it. Trigar came down with it, and he's fouled.
I think that's their 16th O-board for the night.
Yeah, how about Bintahal? He flipped it off the backboard, then tipped it himself. I mean, gee, if you were Coach Perlman, I don't know if you could expect your team to play a better game than what Cairns has done so far tonight.
Yeah.
2 games. Last night was a great game also. Trigar at the free throw line hits the first. 60-37 the lead now for Cairns.
Well, they certainly have made the crowd be non-existent here, the Marlins.
Phillips picks up his dribble, looking for someone to pass to. He gets it to Davis.
Because I'm pretty sure everyone didn't anticipate a beatdown of 30, almost 30 points.
Well, I think after last night, most people thought it was going to go 3. That was probably the reaction, or at least come down to a 3 or 4 possession game tonight, which obviously so far isn't the case. But if I'm Brisbane, I mean, we're getting spanked. We've a high tempo, high offense game, but we've got 37 points halfway through the third quarter. Obviously, we're not playing too well, but there's a lot of time left here.
Davis going to fire a deep 3. That's good from Jake Davis.
Yeah, they got to get up and in. They got to be full court.
They absolutely.
They got to be full court press, trap, etc.
Well, they're back into a 1-2-2, aren't they? And that's cool, but go a full court 1-2-2 back to a half court 1-2-2. You've got to pick up the pace here and try and get some quick possessions for yourself.
Higher open for 3. That's short. Davis comes down with it.
Better job defensively then.
If I'm down 21, if I can get myself to be down 11 or 12 at three-quarter time, I'm a chance.
Yeah.
And you're happy with that. So, I mean, this is not a good look for Brizzy right now, but this is far from over, although I think it is over. I'm not sure they're going to make the adjustment, but there's plenty of time left.
There's still a lot of hoop to play, Dan. I think, if Brisbane gets hot here, you never know what could happen. They could hit 4 or 5 threes in a row.
And Davis is the kind of guy that can give him that spark. There you go.
And there it is. Jake Davis puts the ball on the deck, finishes, and the foul. So he cuts the lead to 19. And he's got a chance for a 3-point play.
Good time out here from Perlman too. He's going to just nip that one in the bud and go, that's okay. We're in control still. Everyone keep calm.
Great timeout on the floor, so we'll take one as well. About 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's a 19-point lead for the Cairns Marlins over the Brisbane Capitals in the QBL Grand Finals. Game 2 presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
In-depth video analysis is no longer just for the pros. Huddle is an easy and affordable tool that brings professional level insight to club and high school teams. Just film and track events live at games and upload them to huddle.com. Accelerate player development with team messaging, automatically generated shot charts and reports, and the ability to add notes and drawings to your video. Coaches can exchange game footage with their entire league, all from one place. Sign up for a free trial to see for yourself how Huddle helps teams win.
Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. It's a 61-42 lead. The bench unit for Brisbane giving them a little bit of a spark here in these last few minutes, led by Jake Davis.
And again, the key there was dribble penetration. It's a pretty simple game. Moved the ball around, and all he did was attack his man, saw an opportunity.
Yeah. And they need stops. Offensively, like you said, Jake's been playing great, and we've been a fan of his all season long. I think he's got a really bright future, and it's great to see him performing on a big stage like this. And there's another turnover.
Yeah.
So if they can put through 2 or 3 possessions like this to close the quarter and get it back to, like we said, 13, 12, around that mark, they're a chance still.
That's their 3rd stop in a row. So, that was something that we always used to try and track, was build pressure, get 3 stops. So they get a bucket here.
And you can see Coach Perlman answers with Loughton and Fisher coming right back. So the veterans,
like the turnover.
Yeah, well, the calming presence of those vets should clean up the last couple of minutes for Cairns.
Yeah. Anderson gonna pull up for a jumper. That's short. Long rebound. Bin Tahal comes up with it. He's going 1-on-4. Nearly lost it. He's going to hand over to Daniel.
See, that's just not a good shot from Anderson for me.
Well, Coach Tarrant told me before the game he thinks that Aaron Anderson has the best pull-up jumper in the QBL. I'm happy with that shot for him. He was under a bit of pressure.
What do you think, Thunder? You happy with that shot?
I think in the offense that they run, I'm happy with that shot. But you can see the difference between the type of shots that Cairns are manufacturing for their guys compared to the type of shots that Anderson has to manufacture for himself.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that given the style that they play. But overall, it's not a good shot to me.
That's the 15th foul, so Daniel's at the line for 2 shots. He misses the first.
Especially, using big Tommy Malloy's big rig get him out and come off him on ball.
Well, the idea should be space the floor with shooters, get a middle on ball, give Anderson space to work off and on ball with shooters in the corner so Cairns can't help. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
But so far we're seeing Jake Davis shooting deep threes.
Yeah, the nice step back there from Jake Davis. He's cooking here in the third. It's 17 points the lead now for Cairns. Shooting with confidence. We saw him come out a bit timid last night. He's not scared tonight, folks. Now Heyer has it, putting it on the deck, over to Daniel. Daniel driving baseline, dumps it in for Loughton, who finishes the finger roll.
Well, despite some of the Brisbane heroics, it's still a 22-14 quarter so far.
And Phillips has it stripped. It goes out of bounds off of Cairns. So Brisbane will maintain possession with 1:39 to go here in the third quarter. They say it's the championship quarter, and Cairns has weathered the storm. Kopsikas fires a three. It's an air ball, and Trigar comes down with it. Now Heyer open in the corner, three.
You probably want to guard him. I mean, I don't know how they've missed him 3 times in a row in that corner.
And how can you keep making the same mistake, fellas? On offense and D, like you just said, Dave, you're going to leave open arguably the best perimeter player on the floor 3 possessions in a row after going one pass air ball on the other end. I mean, that just sums up the whole game, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I, to be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to count that as a transition bucket, but that's a transition bucket.
Yeah.
They just fell asleep in D-trans
is.
there for Brisbane, and Cairns has capitalized on that. You know, coming into the game, and it's probably because we're more familiar with Brisbane than we are with Cairns, but we talked about Brisbane's transition offense. How about Cairns? You space it with shooters, push the ball up court. You know Brisbane's going to collapse on you in the paint. Heyer's killing them from the corner tonight.
And then they get that, you know, the smart trail action with either Loughton or Trigger at the 5, and they come down, and if there's no kick aheads early, they can just calmly come down and get in this stuff.
Yeah, I think they called that higher. I said it was a 3, it was a 2. So it's now 66-47 now with Kopsikas' 2 free throws. He hits 2, he comes out. Jeffries is in with 1:09 to go now in the third quarter. Brisbane's going to have to lay it all out here, folks. They're down 19 with under a minute to go. Awang works it around the perimeter. I like what Cairns doing here, methodical as they have been all night. Fisher has it over to Awang with 2 seconds. He's going to fire top of the key 3. That's off. Anderson comes down with it.
I know we've only seen Cairns play a handful of times this year, but you know, geez, I like what Chris Daniel brings to the team. Just, you know, does all the things, good spaces the floor, can hit the 3, put it on the floor and hit Loughton and Trigger. And just defensively, he's been really good too, moving his feet, staying in front of the Brisbane guards.
It's falling apart for Brisbane, fellas. I mean, I'm overly critical. If I'm being overly critical, just tell me. But, I mean, that possession, they've done pretty well the last few minutes to bring it back, and I think they've been playing much, much better. But I just don't understand how you can have a 3-point shot from 4 or 5 feet back around the 3-point line and then foul the defensive rebounder to send him to the line, which will again extend the lead out beyond 20 again.
Yeah,
and Brisbane deserve a lot of credit. I said during the week for Chris the Greek's website, I thought Brisbane was going to win. I thought Jeff had this team primed. They played so impressively last week against Logan. There's still time. They have the ability, like it was last week, quarter time, 42-21 against Logan. There's still time for them. But I'm just really surprised at the style of game that they're playing tonight.
Yeah, just that discipline's killed them, as you say. Possibly a pretty average shot, and then just a silly rebound, a silly foul. You don't need that. That's just poor discipline.
Anderson, if he gets it in the paint, he hurts you. That's 19 points to the lead. Cairns going to hold for the final shot of the third quarter. Awang has it now for Cairns.
Love to see more of that from Anderson.
Mitchell fires a 3, that's off. Thompson comes down with it, flips one up. And guys, we're heading into the fourth quarter. There's 10 minutes left in this game. Is there 10 minutes left in Brisbane season? We're going to find out soon, guys. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with fourth quarter action. 68-49 the lead for the Cairns Marlins over the Brisbane Capitals. And QBL's final game 2 here, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
name is Jade and I play basketball for Queensland.
Well, some of the great things about the Aussie Hoops program would be the younger kids, developing their skills at lower ages.
The thing I love about playing basketball would be working as a team. I also love the energy and the atmosphere basketball has.
Favourite training session of the week would be my club training. It's more involved than just individual sessions.
If a kid approached me about playing basketball for the first time, I would definitely tell them about how much fun it is. Basketball's a game for everyone and it's also an all year round sport.
It doesn't matter what shape or size you are, give basketball a go.
Back with you here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower. D-Love, let's take a look at some stats heading into the fourth quarter.
So for Cairns, we've obviously got Cameron Tragar with 19 points, 13 boards, doing his thing. Alex Loughton's got 13 as well. 9 rebounds for him. Chris Daniel, only 1 point, but 8 points, 3 assists, moving the ball, doing his thing. Fisher's got 8 points, 6 assists. James Mitchell, the captain's got 9. Again, just their big 5 is doing what they need to do to get it done. They're plus 24 on the rebounds, Johnny, which is killing them. And Brisbane only shooting 29% from the floor. For Brisbane, Anderson's kind of been the lone wolf with 14 points. And Jake Davis has chipped in with 11 off the bench. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet.
10 minutes left in the game. Is this going to be it for Brisbane? They need to get a stop here on this first possession.
Well, it would have to be the greatest comeback ever if they do that.
Good defense there. Mitchell picks up a foul.
I'm just thinking, Thunder, can you come back 19 in a 10-minute quarter?
It's going to be incredibly tough, purely because of the Cairns team. If this was against some other team, probably it's possible. But these guys, I think, are too smart to let this go from this position. Up 1-0 in the series, up 19 and three-quarter time. They're too clever. But people said the same thing about the Golden State Warriors a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
These records are made to be broken, and if Brisbane can get hot somehow, they're a chance.
Yeah.
Well, they got the first bucket of the quarter, which is good sign for the Capitals. 68-51 the lead here. Mitchell has it stripped. It goes out of bounds off of Reichart. So Cairns will maintain possession.
Well, that's going to be a foul on Dusty reaching in.
I thought they were just going to say it went out of bounds, but so yeah, right.
Well,
personal foul.
It's pretty handy going to the bench and getting higher and Tragar back into the lineup.
Well, if I'm Coach Perlman here, I'm riding my horses. 68-51. The championship's on the line here, folks. Cairns with the upper hand.
And the other thing, Cairns have got to be careful here not to be too cute and run it through, late shot clocks with a bad shot and a rushed shot.
Yeah, well, they're down to 4 seconds on the shot clock here.
So that's got to be smart and still be aggressive, still penetrate, move the ball, move the man, and just do what they've done the last. He's got
shoot that. He doesn't know the clock. That's a veteran mistake right there.
Fisher, air ball. So good defense again. Brisbane getting a few stops to start the quarter here. Anderson looking to be aggressive. He's blocked, but they're going to call a foul. So Anderson's going to go to the line for a couple shots. And Coach Perlman gets up out of his seat to walk the sidelines. He doesn't like the way his team has started this fourth quarter.
We give love to Daniel, but that was just a bit silly. I mean, Anderson's got a one foot, wrong foot fade away over, I think it was higher. Just contest.
Well, what you don't want is to send Brisbane to the line early. It does two things. It stops the clock and gives them points, which obviously helps them coming back from a pretty large deficit. But you also don't want Anderson, Jeffries, Carter to see the ball go in the hoop. However that is, foul shot especially, because that can give a good shooter rhythm pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So you want to keep this clock moving, and if they come back via contested threes, you live with that.
Yeah, well, down to 15 points. So we'll see if the crowd can get in the game as well.
Loughton has it on the baseline. They're going to get Dusty Reichart again for a foul. Going to get him with the forearm. That's Dusty's third personal. It's the second team foul on Brisbane.
And again, if Cairns have maybe got to recognise that Curdy Thompson's got these 4,
Loughton can't get that one to fall. Somehow he comes up with the board, though.
Credit Cam Trigar tapping that back, keeping it alive, and discredit Brisbane. They need passion. They were so passionate last week against Logan in their style of play, and I'm not seeing that right now.
Fisher has to put one up to beat the buzzer. It's off. Daniel corrals the rebound, but the pass goes out of bounds. So there's a good hustle there by Chris Daniel to get the board. Just rushed the pass, though.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes from Daniel here to start the fourth. He could have just held the ball, backed it out, got a fresh clock.
68-53 the lead now here. Brisbane mounting a somewhat of a comeback. Thompson with the layup cuts the lead to 13. When do you go to the timeout if you're the Cairns Marlins, boys?
Well, if you don't get a bucket here, I'm blowing one.
Good inside out. Trigar's jumper is off, but he's fouled. Let's see who they give this one to.
It's got to be Dusty, right?
If it is on Dusty Reichart, and it is, that's his fourth personal. It's the fourth team foul for the Brisbane Capitals as well.
Well, they need him. I mean, they need him in the game, offensively and defensively.
Well, they don't do much to get him in the game offensively. He's 0 for 6 tonight. Yeah. They need to run more to help him get looks, but everything else he does that doesn't show up on a box score makes him so valuable. And with 7 minutes left, 6 minutes left, if he has to exit the game with 5 fouls or just to protect him from getting the fifth, that's going to really hurt their ability to come back against what is now an obtainable deficit.
And if you're Cairns, you got to go at him.
You have to.
Loughton or Trigger.
Absolutely. And I think you're going to see Drew Phillips come in for Dusty, which makes Brisbane very small.
Thompson nearly turned it over. It went off of the Cairns Marlins. Drew Phillips does come in for Dusty Reichart at the 7:37 mark. Reichart takes a seat with his team down 14.
I'm letting him on the court.
Absolutely.
I'm saying he's experienced. He's a vet. He
knows
knows how to play without picking on the fifth foul. And if he's on the floor, you're losing this game.
Yeah.
Anderson's three is
on
off.
The bench. Sorry, Johnny.
No, you're all right.
Yeah, I don't. That's a bad sub. I mean, you got to roll with Dusty.
You've now got Drew Phillips playing the middle of the zone.
What he brings is absolute experience, both ends of the floor.
Thompson gets his hands on it. It goes off of Fisher and out of bounds. So Brisbane up in the intensity levels on the defensive side. They need to get they're getting the stops. They need to get a few buckets in a row as well, though.
Well, living and dying by the three so far has not done well for them. But when you're down 14, a couple of stops, 1 or 2 buckets, it's now an 8-point, 9-point game. The crowd's back into it. There's plenty of time left, fellas.
Yeah, Loughton gets called for the reach in there. 3 team fouls apiece. And then a bit of shove around here as both teams huddling at the free throw line.
Not surprising to see Zach Carter flop. I'm glad that the officials were experienced enough not to bite for that.
I love Fisher's response too. I'll have none of it. I don't care that I'm giving you 7 or 8 inches.
Yeah, referees having a bit of a chat here. Let's see if they assess anything here.
There's nothing there.
They're going to give, I think they're going to give Fisher gets a warning as well. Fair enough, you know,
That's
you don't want
enough.
anything getting silly.
Absolutely. Experienced officiating,
yeah, great job.
handled very well.
Great job.
Tony the superstar.
Pull your heads in, play ball.
Let's see if they can fire the Capitals up. They're down 14 here. Anderson dumps it off for Thompson. He loses it on the way up, but they're going to get Daniel for the foul. So Kurt Thompson going to go to line for a couple of shots.
And again, fellas, 6:53 left in the quarter. It stops the clock and gives Brisbane the chance to get 2 points to bring it back to now a 12-point deficit. So the amount of clock stoppages and foul shots would be making Coach Pillman nervous without a doubt.
Well, Coach Tarrant might have been listening to the call on the streaming because he's got Dusty back in.
Well, I'm glad someone has the headphones on listening to our commentary and made the call. Now, I hope Dusty doesn't get a 5th foul real quick and make us look silly.
Well, Chris Daniel picked up his 4th as well. I think he just checked out.
Yeah, Daniel took a seat on the bench.
Mitchell comes back in. I mean, they don't lose anything, that's for sure. Mitchell's had a great season.
Well, if I'm Cairns, fellas, are we going to come down and say, let's work hard the next 2 or 3 possessions to go to Trigger, go to Loudon, and make Dusty make a play at the rim?
Absolutely, yeah.
There's Loudon at the elbow. Good pass inside. Trigar finishes with the reverse.
His hands are so good, Cam Trigar.
Great pass from Loughton again.
Great hands from Trigger to make the catch and the finish. There's Two quality
and
players
great
going
footwork.
to work.
Great
Absolutely.
footwork.
Absolutely.
Carter tries to answer with the three. That's off. Fisher comes down with a big rebound. His team up 16. Higher rips baseline, leaves his feet. Good ball movement here from Cairns and great patience as well. Good recovery by Anderson. Nearly saved it from going out of bounds. He sacrificed his body to try and save it. He's a little dusty in front of Trevor Lidston.
Good poise from Fisher then. And again, you know, they want to be shooting the ball in that last third of the shot clock. You know, that 6 to 10 seconds is a good time. Burn the clock, keep shifting the defense, and then attack.
There's the turnover. Anderson has it going 1-on-2. He'll pull up for the jumper. That's strong. Trigar has it. The crowd wanted the foul call. Loughton closed out pretty hard on Anderson there. Thunder getting the crowd noise. Thanks, Dan.
I'll hold the mic a little bit closer to D-Love.
Higher fires a three in the corner again. That's good.
Wide
74-55.
open. He is wide open. You're playing a zone, I guess that's what you're going to give up, but you got to know who's where, don't you?
I don't
and
know.
he has killed him from that exact same spot.
I think Higher's going to sign that area on the court and say, that's where I won the 2016
That's my real estate.
championship.
Reichardt can't finish, but he's fouled, so he's going to go to the line for a couple of shots. And boys, I said it earlier, Cairns weathered that storm to start the third quarter. Now they're weathering the storm here to start the fourth. 5.5 minutes to go, 19 points to lead. What do you think, fellas? Is it over now, or can Brisbane make the comeback?
Well, making runs is part of the game, and Cairns, coaching-wise and playing-wise, have been around long enough to know that at some point Brisbane's going to make a run. When they do, stay off your stuff, weather the storm, will be all right. That's exactly what they've done. 5 minutes left, given the deficit is what it is. I mean, I think I called it with 8 minutes left in the third quarter that this is over. And there's nothing that's going to make you change your opinion at the moment. I think we're done.
Yeah.
And credit Cairns for coming into a pretty hostile environment and just playing quality, methodical, championship-level basketball.
Higher is going to take another one. That's off. Tipped out by Anderson. Jeffries gets it over now to Reichardt. Reichardt picks up his dribble, gets it out to Phillips. Thought that one was definitely going up. Reichardt will fire a long two. That's good for Dusty Reichardt. Cuts the lead to 15. Here's the patience from Cairns. Fisher going one-on-one with Kopskis. He kicks it to Higher. Now Loughton in the corner. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Damon Higher kicks it to Alex Loughton, open for three. That's off. Reichardt comes down with it. So another stop here for Brisbane. Let's see if they can get another quick bucket here. Jeffries driving baseline, finishes the layup. It's now 13 points to lead, and Coach Perlman's going to take a timeout, fellas. Nice TO there for Cairns. We're going to take one as well. There's about 4:30 to go in the game. Cairns up 13, 74-61 over the Brisbane Capitals here on the grand finals of the QBL, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media.
In-depth video analysis is no longer just for the pros. Huddle is an easy and affordable tool that brings professional level insight to club and high school teams. Just film and track events live at games and upload them to huddle.com. Accelerate player development with team messaging, automatically generated shot charts and reports, and the ability to add notes and drawings to your video. Huddle even allows athletes to create highlights to help them get noticed. Sign up for a free trial to see for yourself how Huddle helps teams win.
Back here at NAB Stadium in Auchenflower, it's a 74-61 lead. Brisbane putting together a bit of a run here. Coach Perlman takes the timeout. We just commented to each other in that break. We love what Coach Perlman's doing. What's he telling his team in the huddle, guys? Up 13 with 4:30 to go.
Well, I think he's just saying, everyone stay calm. We've been here, we've done it. We've been the better team here for the last two nights, and we're going to deliver it via executing on offense. I mean, a 12-6 fourth quarter so far from Brisbane. So
Fisher's three is off. Mitchell with the rebound and putback. How about that from the captain?
I think he was also saying Keep playing quality D, make them shoot over a hand, but don't foul. Keep them off the foul line. Keep this clock ticking over.
Phillips in the corner for three. That's too strong. Jeffries tips it out to Kopskis. Now Anderson has it. He goes inside for Kopskis. He misses the layup, and Trigar comes down with the rebound.
It's a tough miss under the bucket. They really need everything at the moment.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
And given, my bad, John, I keep stepping in, mate, but given Jake Davis's performance a quarter ago, given Zach Carter's season,
Higher again.
why are those two boys sitting on the bench?
Yeah.
How about Damon Hire? He's not sitting on the bench. He's sitting in the corner making it rain.
Well, Jake Davis is the second leading scorer
That's right.
tonight.
Yeah. And here he comes right now. Well done, Dave. The mic's getting down to the Capitals bench, but Damien Hoyer, we've said a couple of times recently, when you're a development player in the NBL, you should come back and dominate QBL.
Yeah.
And he has done exactly that, and credit to him.
He's been great again tonight. He was quiet until the fourth quarter.
Maybe he was upset. We gave Tanner the most valuable player.
Anderson looks like he hurt his knee.
Because Hire is playing like the MVP.
And why is no one from Brisbane running to Anderson right now, helping him up? Why is he getting himself up off the court? To me, every dead ball, Kansas huddling. Your MVP just goes out injured and no one runs to him to help him up. That, to me, says a lot about the state of their mind. With 3 minutes left, they're as good as done.
Yeah, Anderson's going right to the bench for some treatment. That's a big loss for Brisbane as they're down 18. Davis puts it on the deck, going to his left, kicks it to Thompson. Corner jumper is good for Kurt Thompson. Trigar with it for Cairns. Mitchell has hit a few big ones. He can't get that one to fall. Jeffries comes down with it. Hands off for Reichart. Reichart over to Jake Davis. Davis kicks it back out. Good defense there by Hire. Jeffries steps into a three. That's short. Mitchell can't come down with it. There's a lot of contact here. Let's see who they give that one to. It's on one of the Capitals. That one's going to be on Dusty Reichart.
That is good.
That's his fifth. He's going to be done for the night. And I think the Brisbane crowd should give him a standing ovation because, guys, this could possibly be Dusty Reichardt's final game for the Brisbane Capitals tonight if they don't win this game.
Yeah, disappointing end for him as I think Cairns can't really lose it from here, but he's been such a great player both in the NBL and the QBL over the years and a good guy to boot.
Dan, you're pretty good mates with Dusty. You've known him for a long time. He's done a great job for the Capitals in his career here in Brisbane.
Well, I think let's not talk about his NBL career, which is all-time one of the best ever from an American coming out here in terms of longevity and consistent performance year in, year out. The superstar player. But I think we can look at a box score, we can look at season stats, but I think if we went and spoke to people around this club and the impact that he has on the young guys in terms of the development of Jake Davis, development of these other young players around here, the community feel that the Capitals have had at Auckland play of their juniors, I think you'd point to someone like that and the impact that Dusty's had as a big push towards what they've built over the last few years. So this may be his last game. They don't, and I've said it all year, and people can hate on me for it, they don't use him anywhere nearly in the right way, in my opinion. But he doesn't complain, he does his job, great team player, and hopefully it's not. I think he's still got plenty in the tank, and hopefully he does run around again next year because it would be a sad loss to our game if he doesn't.
Very well said, Dan. Let's hope that it isn't the last time we see Dusty Reichart. It definitely is the last time we'll see him tonight, though. He's fouled out. Cairns has it now. Good ball movement. Trigar quadruple teamed. Hire winds up open again. Good contest there by Davis. How about Mitchell skying for it? But Trigar steps out of bounds.
I mean, this has been a very Spurs-like performance from the Marlins, hasn't it? Just great poise, making the extra pass, finding the open man, really being relaxed and calm.
And we got to congratulate the Rockhampton Cyclones. The women's have won the QBL championship 85-68. So congratulations to the Rockhampton Cyclones as Jake Davis hits another big three.
I still don't know why there's no full court pressure here in this second half in order to try and do something.
You're down 13 with a minute 40 left.
Yeah.
That's not game over.
No.
Why aren't you playing 94 feet for the last 2 or 3 minutes?
Trigar flips it up. That's good. And that one there, I think, is the killer blow. 15 points with 1:20 to go.
Well, they've proven, Cairns, that in the half court they're too methodical for Brisbane to handle. So the only answer really is to get them out of the half court. And you do that by getting up the floor and playing 94 feet of defense. And I agree, Dave. I don't know why they haven't been doing that.
Cops gets an air ball there. Loughton comes down with it. And Cairns has about a minute to go now. And I think the celebrations have started up in Cairns, because it looks like the QBL championship is coming home with the Marlins. As Thompson tips it, Mitchell tracks it down. Got about 7 seconds. Good skip pass. Trigar inside for Loughton. That's the finish. And the bench is up, fellas. This one's finished. The Cairns Marlins are going to be your 2016 QBL champions.
Yeah, and it's certainly well-deserved. They've been fantastic this last month. And, again, a lot of credit to Coach Perlman getting his guys ready and eyes on the prize at the right time of the season.
Absolutely.
As he's going to give them all their due congratulations.
Yeah, Coach Perlman's going to empty the bench here.
And I hope Jeff does the same thing, as Cam Trigar thanks the crowd. Obviously a Cairns boy, but a Brisbane boy as well, and he's got family here and obviously much loved in the Brisbane basketball community. Unless you're playing for the Caps, in which case he's been killing you for decades, from Southwest to Rocky to now Cairns.
Yeah, he's got a few jerseys.
He sure does. He sure does. I would love to see Seb Windsor and Lamb and these guys get a taste of action here. It's a grand final. It's a big crowd. The game's over. Let them touch the floor.
Yeah.
You see checking in for Cairns. Farmer comes down with the rebound. Curta Wang has it. So you got Bintahal, Ryan Runnels.
And that'll be Curdy Thompson's fifth.
Aaron Farmer, Chris Daniel, and Aaron Bintahal. And then also checking in for Cairns, that's number 12, Matthew Mulligan for Chris Daniel. Good job there by Coach Perlman. He's going to empty the bench, guys. Coach Tarrant takes a timeout, 83-66 with 33 seconds to go. Guys, let's talk about this, though. Cairns has been super impressive in the 2 games. You know, we talked about how they got here, but, gee, they've absolutely dominated Brisbane from start to finish in Games 1 and Games 2 here. I mean, what can we say that we haven't said already about the Marlins?
I think we've done a great job calling this game, actually, and we've covered it all. But in saying that, the methodical approach that Cairns has brought offensively, defensively from a playing group has been impressive. But that only comes about by the scout and the coaching structure that gets implemented. So while we've spoken about Trigger, Loughton, Damien Hoyer, Mitchell, these guys that have come out and just played so well and so disciplined, that only happens if Perlman and his staff do what they do. And I think one thing we might not have given enough credit to during the call is the coaching staff, not just Coach Perlman, but his team, who've obviously scouted Brisbane, come up with a game plan and been quality coaching enough to implement it into these guys and make them believe. And the result is them coming on the road in what is a tough place to get wins and played exceptional basketball.
And the only thing we probably haven't covered, I think, Johnny, is, you know, Brisbane's had a great season, and despite it hurting right now as they lose back-to-back grand finals, it's still a tremendous effort to get there, and the Brisbane Association needs to be proud of their boys as well. They've been good all year, and that's just, unfortunately, that's life, right? Sometimes you're the bridesmaid, right?
Well, it just shows how hard it is to win championships.
Yeah.
Winning a title is hard, and you need.
I mean, ask Utah, right? Like, they were an outstanding team, come up against a better team.
We could go down the line and mention dozens of teams, but winning a title is a difficult thing to do. And Brisbane, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of keeping this team together, bringing the Tarrant brothers back as coaches. They've got decisions to make. But
Runnels misses the dunk.
Hey, give that boy credit for going for the jam. You could have taken the easy 2. Throw it down.
R squared.
I like that.
R squared with the missed dunk.
We'll wipe that one from the playback, I promise, Ryan. Guys, who's your player of the game and who's your player of the grand final series for the Cairns Marlins, guys? Because they are the 2016 QBL champions. The Cairns Marlins do it here in Brisbane in 2 games. They win game 2 by 14. If you have to pick one guy, who are you giving your award to, D-Love?
Well, I'm gonna have to give it to a good friend of mine in Trigger. He had 24 and 8, I think, last night. He's backed it up with 24 and 17. I mean, that's clutch. And again, he was well supported from Hire and Loughton.
Dan, who's your player of the finals?
You could give co-MVPs. Loughton, Hoyer, these guys have been amazing,
Yeah.
but I agree. Cam Trigar has been that impressive, and I'd love to get him up here and ask him some questions. Let's not forget the challenges that he's had professionally over the last few months, and it's been well publicised as athletes' journeys are. But for him to be able to keep his composure, stay professional, and do what he's done this weekend just speaks volumes of the kind of player that he is, and it's wonderful to see him get a title as well.
Yeah, congratulations to the Cairns Marlins. Guys, we're going to try to see if we can get one of the Marlins to come up here and have a chat. We'll see if we can grab him before the presentation. I doubt we will. Guys, do you think we should keep it here for the presentation? What do you think?
We've probably got a couple of minutes before they start handing out trophies and giving speeches, so if you want to shout out our supporters on the network, might be a good time, but I think we've covered off on most of it, I think. But Cairns, professional, methodical, super impressive, but like we covered off on Brisbane a moment ago, they need to be proud of what their team's done as well. They've given Brisbane a home grand final for the first time in years, but the title drought continues. It's been 14 years since Brisbane's won a championship, so we know that they're close, and they've been close for a few years now. So what do? Do they bring this group back? Do they bring the coaching staff back? Do they come in with someone fresh with a new voice? Do they bring in a couple of new players? There are big decisions to be made, but
it's going to be a very interesting offseason, to say the least, for Brisbane. I heard before the final series that this was going to be the last time for quite a few of the Capitals players. We'll see how it plays out. You can't ask that question now. This one's going to hurt. It's the third time in 4 years the guys have made it this far, and to come away empty-handed all 3 times is a bitter pill to swallow. But like you say, these guys were one of the best teams, if not the best team, during the regular season. They had a few challenges along the way. They still were able to make it to a grand final. Guys, only 2 teams make it to a grand final, so nothing against the Brisbane Capitals. It's been a great season. Unfortunately for them, they're going to fall short. And guys, for Cairns, they hit their straps at the right time. This is the 9th winner in a row that they've had. They had a lot of injuries to overcome to get here, and to come out and to dominate 2 wins over Brisbane, I think is a real cherry on top for them on an otherwise fantastic season for the Marlins. Yeah, I mean, congratulations to Cairns. Hurts a little bit personally. We had a few losses to those boys over the last 15 years at the Pirate Ship, and they just have such a professional organisation, and they draw on obviously the Taipans, and they do it well. And kudos to them. I think they're one of the model franchises in Queensland. So well done. The other one quickly, Johnny. I'd just like to bit of a shout out to Basketball Queensland with their endeavours to support the game. And also Nothing But Net Media, which gives us the opportunity to stream these games all over Queensland. And I just wanted to say thank you to Basketball Queensland. I think we're trying to do our thing to grow the game and provide it, and a little bit of colour and a little bit of flavour each week. So thank you for tuning in. And you were remiss to forget all the fans and everyone who's tuned in and who's supported this stream. If you guys did not watch and you didn't support what we do, we wouldn't be able to do it for you. Hopefully we'll be back bigger next year, and hopefully we'll have another great season. Guys, to me, this 2016 QBL season has been absolutely phenomenal from round 1 to here.
Well, the product's pretty impressive, and we said during our podcast to wrap this season up that if we went back 4 or 5 years, the standard of play compared to other leagues in Australia, like the Seabull down south, there was an obvious gap. But watching the season over the last couple of years, and especially this year, and in particular a couple of games we've seen recently in the playoffs, I think Queensland and Southeast Queensland, and obviously now Northern Queensland with Townsville and Cairns doing so well, also Rockhampton year in, year out being quality. The level of play in the QBL is as good as you'll find anywhere in the country outside of the NBL, and I think it gives all of us something to look forward to. It gives the crowd here the ability to come out and support really good quality basketball, where everyone knows the players and it's community driven, and it's a privilege to be able to call games like this where there's so much passion in the crowd and the quality of game on the floor is so high. Yeah.
And how about guys who, I know we talked about Trigar as the player of this final series, but let's talk. I got to ask you guys, what were some of your highlights this season in the games that you were able to see?
Yeah, I think just the good variety of talent and the quality of the imports keeps getting better. I mean, whether it's James Legan, who had a terrific season, or Southwest has done a good job in recruiting a couple of studs the last couple of years out of the Division 2 in America, to the teams in the north and a little bit of shift in the power. I mean, Brisbane were good, Southwest were good, a little bit, and Cairns finished 5th on the ladder. So, just the fact that it's such an even competition, I think, is great. And the Bullets coming back in, I think, will help the southern teams as well. And maybe I think that, the Brisbane Caps and Co, they're actually a bit sick of letting the North teams win. I mean, I know we sure were over the years been involved, and so I think it's that's the thing. It's just such a great competition that's even, and again, anyone in that top 6 could have won the competition, and Cairns got hot at the right time.
Dan, anything that really stood out to you? Any particular play or moment in the season for you, 2016?
It's hard to single out a single play because obviously a lot of highlights we see every week. But to me, I just love the contrast of old vets like a Trigger, like an Alex Loudon coming in and playing at a big stage and playing so well, and contrasting that with some of the younger kids we've seen running around, both locals and people that have come in from other states, like a Saposkas from Logan who decides to leave the Seabold and come play in the QBL. So to me, the highlight is the quality of play that I think is going to keep getting better and better year in, year out, because we see guys like Jake Davis step up and get better and at 18 or 19 years of age. So for me, the highlight is the excitement that the future of the QBL has. I think it's going to be a great product and getting better and better every year.
Yeah, I think it's been a fantastic season. Congrats here to the Capitals. They got their runner-up medals. It's been a great season for the Brisbane Capitals here. And guys, we've got to give the Capitals a bit of credit too. We've been critical of them at times throughout the season, but let's give them the credit they deserve, in the sense that everyone knows what they're trying to do night in and night out, and they're still hard to stop. I think Cairns did a great job scouting and prepping for them in this grand final series, but across the entire season, Brisbane ran that flex offense, they played that pack defense, and no one could solve it really until these last 2 games.
Yeah, and I think quality, we have been critical, and I'll take the brunt of it because I have been maybe unfairly critical at times. And the first thing I'll say is, when I was growing up, me and Mick Tarrant, Brisbane assistant coach, on this very floor would meet at 6 a.m. in the morning, and he'd give me hours of shooting coaching. One of the best skills coaches in the country, and he's the janitor here that keeps this place looking so good. Jeff Tarrant, he's been to 3 grand finals. I mean, they're obviously a quality outfit, so let's not be overly critical. But in saying that, the style of play that they run, I think, is awesome for the regular season, especially against the Rip or a Logan last week especially, but against some of those lower teams, it just looks so good. But when you come up against a methodical team like Brisbane, you need to have other options, and that's the gap that I think has been missing.
All right, the CEO of Basketball Queensland, Graham Burns, is about to present the Cairns Marlins with their grand final championship trophy. So we'll keep it quiet and let's hear what the captain, James Mitchell, has to say.
R squared is not going to live down that dunk, I don't think. But he's still got a ring.
He's got a championship. That's all that matters. He'll miss 100 dunks for a ring.
He's been sitting there for 2 hours. He's cold as heck. He could have just laid it up. Give the boy credit. Let's throw it down. That's one thing this game didn't have. Some posterization.
All right, guys, here comes the trophy presentation for the Cairns Marlins. Here's the cup.
Yeah, just thanks to all the crowd. You guys loud as shit tonight. Last night, I love it. The guys who film, nothing but net media. That's awesome. Score bench volunteers. Chris with the alphabet last name. Shout out to him. SkyTrains, all the sponsors. Boys Capitals. You guys have been here for like 5 years, and you guys are keeping the same team and keep being great. So thanks everyone. Cheers.
Great words there from the captain, James Mitchell, as he's presented with the 2016 Queensland Basketball League Championship Trophy and flag. Congratulations to the Cairns Marlins, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Do you guys have any final words you'd like to say?
No, just again, well done to the Cairns boys. And we'll see you Brisbane Bullets versus UCLA Monday night, Johnny.
Yeah, and we're going to be presenting the Bullets game. I don't know if we're going to get a chance to get one of these Cairns Marlins guys. Dan, final thoughts before we wrap it up.
I think I've said everything that I've wanted to say. Brisbane deserve a lot of credit. This club should be really proud of them and what they've done. Cairns, as Trigger's fiance comes over to capture the moment on the iPhone. This has just been a quality product, and it's been a privilege to call the game. And obviously, we'll be involved with NBL stuff, starting with UCLA Bullets on Monday night. And we'd love for you to tune into that as well. And hopefully that continues to grow, and we'll be back next year. But everyone in Queensland and around Australia should be pretty excited about the product that the QBL is delivering, and it's been a joy to call all year.
Well, thank you for that, Dan. I got to thank everybody, not only you guys, Dan George, Dave Derwin, and of course Chris Heber on the camera tonight, but I can't thank you just for tonight. I got to thank you all for an entire season of great times, great games. It's been a good job by everybody. I can't thank you enough. I also have to thank Braden Hesselhurst. I got to thank Luke Peterson. I got to thank Katie Harris. I got to thank Pete Pollock. I got to thank all of the basketball associations who have supported us and given us the opportunity to present the QBL. I have to thank Basketball Queensland for giving us this opportunity. I got to thank everybody for tuning in and following us. Guys, it's been a great 2016 season. Congratulations to the champions, the Cairns Marlins, on winning the 2016 QBL Championship. That's it for us tonight, guys. Thanks again for tuning in to another presentation of QBL Basketball by Nothing But Net Media.